All right. Quasi B in the building. Um, Today I want to talk about a really particular subject that you know is very evident in nowadays time, and it's this constant war between man and woman. Um, this war is more of a pointing the fingers thing where women have felt belittled, ostracized away from particularly what their vision should be. They've been given a certain directional message. They feel portrayed that what they are is simply not enough and that they are simply objects. And on the flip side of things, men have been projected that we're just ruthless animals, that we don't really care for another. All we care for is ourselves. All we want is something that, brings us pleasure and desire, that we have the ability to do whatever we want. We do whatever we want, and we just take. We take whatever we want. No matter the, no matter the reward, or no matter the situation or anything of that nature. And I had witnessed kind of an argument, between two people that really put this idea in my mind. I'm not naming any names. I won't do anything of that such in nature. But a woman I know, she just described, in a broad statement. And this is really where a lot of the mishap starts. She put in a really broad statement that, men are just takers and abusers and, misusers of life, essentially, and especially towards the woman. And the male in this conversation really pointed out the factor that we're not all like that. We aren't all like that. Truth be told, we really aren't all like that, I think we all have the capability for it. As a man, I can speak from this position. I think we all do definitely have the capability for the heinous and mischievous things that we are convicted of. But what separates men from boys is that form of restraint where no matter how hard or how accessible something is to us, we have our moral compass, we have the disciplines, we have the structure, and we were raised better than that. And we choose to use what we were raised with to furtherly empower the world around us, because that's our jobs. Our deepest desire and job is to want to lead people and to provide people with the information, the environment, and the space of safety, security, and peace. And by providing that, we protect exactly that. We protect ourselves, we protect our nature, we protect the people closest to us. We protect the communities that we don't really align with or know of or anything like that. We'll still protect them in a way that we are all human, we are all spirit, and we don't necessarily all fall in that category, because there are men that do fall under that mischievous category of, abusers and takers and violators of our world. But that's a very particular group. And I think that's the biggest message, that from a man to a woman, that I understand, and it's not just me, but I'm going to speak here for all men. I understand that there are evil men in the world. There are takers. There are men that are just bonded with their trauma so deeply that they're completely unaware of it. And instead of finding the successful help for themselves, they just choose to spread that negative hate, that false image of supremacy, and that cockiness. They choose to spread that negative energy across the world. And trust me when we say, women, we are with you on this side of things. We truly do understand that, you know what I'm saying, that there are men that need help, that need to be stopped, that need to be confronted, that need to be put in check and positioned to know that what they are, who they are choosing to be, is not correct. It's not working. And in fact, it's just a false image of who you are, and really it's just a projection of who you want to be. And it's hard to really get into the nitty-gritty details of things, because I myself am just not that type of person. And I don't choose to be that type of person. And I don't want to be that type of person. And there's a lot of men, a lot of men that really don't want to be that person, aren't that person, and don't want to be that person, and are really working every single day, from the time they wake to the time they dream, that this type of man is not me, and it never will be me. And I side with my family because I have a mother once upon a time. I have a sister. I have nieces. I have aunts, grandmothers, and all these things that as a man I would never treat them that way. I would never allow my egotism to evade them or invade them and destroy the polaritic system that is supposed to be. And from man to man, and this is me speaking to the men around the world, for those of you that are on the left side of things, that are antagonistic towards people, for those of you that, you know what I'm saying, give the gender a bad image, that really spit and trifle with the beautiful spirit of a woman, understand that accountability is your first step if you really want to change. And you know exactly who you are, you know exactly what you do, you know exactly what are you portraying yourself as, what you really are hiding. And you know there's a better way of doing things, you know there's a better way of handling things. You just don't want to choose to do that because you don't want to put in the deep entwined work to control yourself. You don't want to put in that deep entwined work to really understand your situations, your problems. And instead of responding, you choose to react. And your masculine energy is truly diminished. You really don't have masculine energy in that essence at all. Really what you carry is just a feminine exterior. Well, I'll reiterate that. You have a feminine interior that bleeds itself outside with no sense of control, with no sense of discipline, and with no sense of rightful responses. just kind of just go about it how you want. And that's on you, honestly. That's on you. For the ones that's on the right side, though, the ones that stand strong, the ones that defend those behind them, that stand on the front lines, it could be really hard to live in this type of life that, you know what I'm saying, you're being projected as all these things, and you know what I'm saying, you're being told that I'm doing all this. I could do this, but I don't because I don't want to. This is not who I am. It's not me. You know what I'm saying? I don't, you know what I'm saying? It's just not my image. It's not who I want to be. It's never who I want it to be. And I want to choose to be better. For those type of men, never allow another's projections to personally influence you. You know what I'm saying? We do got to keep each other accountable. We do have to keep each other accountable. Men and women, we got to keep everybody accountable for exactly their actions. Because the exact same reason that we don't keep people accountable is why we have all these situational problems now that nobody is really paying attention to. And they just let it slide under the rug. And at this point now, the rug is really a fat ass hill hidden that we can't even walk past. We walk up the hill and we just slide right back down. So don't let none of that influence you at all. You know what I'm saying? Just keep it pushing. Be exactly who you want it to be, and like just keep your shit on. Keep your head on the swivel, brother. Just keep doing what you do, because it's an unfortunate business to live in as a man, but you aren't appreciated until you pass. But another man can see exactly the type of man you are. And it takes that level of commitment and discipline and structure and consistency to really gain that respect of you are the way of a real man. You are practicing the way of a real man. And it's not easy, especially in these nowadays things. To be living in the devil's world in attempts of changing to an angel is nothing of sweet in business, is nothing of easy business, and it's nothing of overnight business at all. You know what I'm saying? To gain these sorts of skills and attributes and actionable steps, it takes months of practice. It takes years of work. And it takes a lifetime of dedication. So keep it up. No matter how hard it get, no matter how bad it look, in those worst moments, that's the moments that all that training you've been doing, all that work you was putting into, that's the test. And that's when it's to show you that whether or not you really meant all that. Did you really mean all that stuff that you meant to do? Did you really have the deep entailed intentions deep in your heart to change your actions and become the better man? Or did you really just want to say that just so you can look better on the outside, so you can feel better about yourself on the outside? Because when you start to work on that in here, and in here is affirmed, all the things outside don't even matter. They're just bonuses and positives. That's it. That's it. When you start seeing those tests as positives, because you get to finally, all the training and everything you've been doing, you finally put that on display and let people know, hey, this just is not me. I'm not yelling at nobody. I'm not fighting with nobody. I will defend myself, but I can defend myself in a peaceful and articulate way for me not to be violent, for me not to be some antagonist. I don't need a solution, but I do have a necessary way to go by. And by necessary way, it's just the way it is that I work for myself. Some people can't handle that. Some people will handle that. Some people don't want to. And it's really not up to my control for that. The only thing I can control is how exactly I want myself to be presented as and how I want myself to be seen. And that's that. And so, just keep your head on a swivel, man. And this whole war thing, it's more discussions on this that I could really get into, but for really what I wanted to get out through this is that for the awareness to be shown that it truly is a war between two genders. The genders between man and woman is truly going to be the signals of Armageddon, the end of the world, because as we separate further and further and further, we only antagonize ourselves more. We only distribute and disconnect from ourselves more. And so I really want, at least for the first half of this, is just to be known that this is a real life problem. This is a global problem. This isn't just in state, in community, in country. This is a global problem. And I want it to be known that this war is the first step, if achieved, fixed, for peace, will solve a lot of our problems. It'll solve a lot of our problems as communities. As communities, it'll solve everything. And yeah, this is just a man speaking from that perspective. And I don't expect people to really agree with everything I say. I don't expect people to also to understand everything I said. But I know exactly what I'm saying is truth. I know exactly what I'm saying is from my heart. It's from my soul. I don't project anything on anybody. I'm not pushing this on anybody. But that is the way of life. And yeah. So, if you like, comment, and subscribe to this video, obviously. And I want more I want comments on this video. I really don't even want likes. As a matter of fact, I really don't want likes. I just want comments. I want a widespread discussion about this. I want this type of discussion to be really shared more, because I really want people to really put more awareness on this. And I really want people to really put some more insight into this type of topic, because it's a very important topic to follow. It's a very psychological warfare that we're going through right now, a sexual warfare that we're going through right now. You know what I'm saying? And I want this to be addressed. So, like I said, just comment, subscribe if you want to keep going on this type of thing with me. And yeah, that's that. Thank you.